Howdy YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Gunman Raw. So today we're going to be doing the paintwork on this bonnet. It's an ISUZU D-Max, and originally they wanted me to just put a coat of clear over it. They had some like funky defect in the clear. They tried polishing it and it just didn't want to play ball, so they decided we'll see what we can do while just clearing it. But then what I ended up finding is I reckon they must have tried sanding and polishing that front bit, because I only hit that with 800 grit, but it went bang straight through, and I actually didn't even notice. It's only just gone through, right? So it's only just gone through the top layer of clear and through to the color underneath, but it's discolored it enough to have to put a little bit of color down there. So this is one question that I get relatively often is, you know, if my car's all faded, can I just sand the clear back and re-clear it? And the answer is yes, but probably no. So the level of experience that it takes to sand a car down properly, an entire car down nonetheless, but even one panel, sand one panel down to flow coat, it's not just your entry level. Like if okay, put it this way, if you're asking that question, the answer is no. If you don't know the answer to that, then you're probably not good enough to do it, if that makes sense. Yeah, okay, that's about it. Because it really doesn't take much. Like I say, even myself, I use a very fine grit sandpaper and really just all I did was degloss this, right? So take the gloss off of it, and I've still gone and cut through. Now, originally I was just going to clear over that and dab it in with a bit of clear and sort of knock it back, because I didn't want to put color on it. But because I do have to put color on it because of that bit at the front, I did decide just to fill it in, because I got the color in there already. So I did knife it up with a bit of knifing putty. Yeah, so I just made this video before and I just got all this shit off my chest. And it was a really good feeling. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload that video. I may have already uploaded it, so you've probably potentially already seen it, but yeah. Oh, it's good to get that shit off my chest. You know what, like I was thinking about it lying in bed last night, and this channel is like, it's like a diary. It's like a diary of my life. And sure, I haven't told everything, but it's kind of been really cool to share, you know, parts of my life with the internet, with you guys, you know. And yes, obviously people do change, and I've changed, and that, some for the better, some maybe not, you know, but yeah, isn't it just, life's a journey. And I don't know, I tip my hat, I was only thinking it the other day, I tip my hat to anybody who's sort of got the balls or whatever, you know, to just say what you think and say what you mean and join the conversation, you know. And that's why, like, I don't get jealous of anybody. I don't think I do. Potentially, I guess, maybe, but in this industry, in this space, any spray painters, I say go for it, man. Join the conversation, you know. Whether or not it's political, whether or not it's just spray painting channel, whatever. Just, you know, I don't even have to agree with you. I just think it's a really cool thing that we're able to share knowledge with each other and, you know, be a positive impact on the world. Because I listen to a lot of philosophy and that, and there's this thing called nihilism, where they don't believe in anything, they don't believe anything's worth anything, and I can't buy into that, because even on a small level, even if you're just thinking in your personal life, the way that you interact with people, that is being part of the human experience. And, you know, you don't have to be like big or anything like that, but you are part of it, you know. And what you do, you might think that in, you know, 1,000 years it doesn't mean anything, but you've been, even however small of a part it is, you're part, like you have been part of human existence, and that's cool, you know. I don't know, sort of trippy thing to say. I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff on my YouTube channel, but I've been listening to a lot of philosophy lately. You might think, geez, this guy sounds like a bit of a tripper, but I am actually a pretty deep thinker. I do think about that kind of stuff, but yeah, I sort of suffered from a overachieving older brother, so that kind of stuff was I was never appreciated for my intelligence, you know. It was because my older brother was the smart one in the family, and I'm a middle child too, so any other middle children out there will know what I'm talking about when I say we're sort of the forgotten ones, you know. Yeah, because the young one comes along, it's all about them, but the old one, he's always the best, you know, he's always above you. But yeah, the forgotten middle kid, and that's okay, I don't mind it. I'm happy. I'm not complaining about that, don't get me wrong. It's more of an observation. So yeah, I think I might actually put down some Basecoat blender on this too. Just for what it's worth. It's one of those colors that it's like a 50-50. You'd nearly get away without it, without the Basecoat blender, but if I'm ever 50-50, I just put it down. What a beautifully big boot, and then one little bonnet in it. It's kind of nice. Nice to do a little job for a change. Yeah, that's just... Don't underestimate the importance of being clean, guys. Just be clean, be fastidious about it. When you're spray painting, like, keep everything nice and clean. Keep your spray guns clean, keep your airlines clean. That's one thing that I was having happen recently. I didn't actually even realize what was going on until I actually saw some stuff flying off of the airline. I don't know why, I just thought that, and so that you can see there, I tried just cleaning that airline up, but I decided just to put an extension on it that would be easier to keep clean. So what I've been doing is just a bit of thinners on there, and just sort of each day just giving it a clean. Even if you don't get it all off, I guess it's got to be better than nothing, doesn't it? I just ended up buying a long airline there, so I've got like a 10-meter one, and when that gets dirty, I'll just throw it in the bin, turf it. You know, the last thing I want is excessive overspray and landing into my paint. I mean, dried overspray from a previous job. Anyway, let's get some paint ready. I'll get a new pair of gloves, why not? So $4.90 if I'm not mistaken. $4.90 should be the one I'm looking for, yeah. I think 30%, that's what I used to do. So I'll stick with that. Here we go. Where are those? Yeah, I'm kind of getting over these 3M PPS cups. I'm actually noticing that they are dropping a fair bit of stuff into my paint jobs. So what are we going to need? We're not going to need much. We'll go 100. Yeah, I reckon that'll do. 73 to 30. So 490, that's where you go. 73 to 30. That's about 30%, thereabouts. Near enough is good enough sometimes. Yeah, I do use the RPS on colour, but for the sake of price as much as anything. Look, my boss is pretty cool with stuff like that. He's never on my back about prices, but I still always will be price conscious, and where possible sort of keep the prices down. I guess I could even look at getting those the knockoff PPS, but I don't know, they can be a nightmare. You just end up getting pot drips and stuff like that. Those old cheapos. What gun? Jeez, I haven't used Basecoat blender for that long. I'm just thinking what gun I'm even going to use for it. I can use that. That's got solvent in there, so that's going to need a quick flush through. It doesn't even have air fitting on it. What have we got here? Haven't used this gun for a while. Yeah, it's kind of getting to the point where I'm sort of making sense of all this stuff. Like, in an insane world, it's the sane who are called insane, and that's where I think we're at. Like, people are losing the plot. People are actually losing the plot because these so-called trusted media sources who were trustworthy like years ago, they've just gone off the deep end. Like, they're just losing the plot. And just I don't even want to get back into it. Let's just stick to the painting, guys. That was my previous video where I was getting into all that kind of trippy shit. Whatever. All right, let's go.
Not too much with this. We don't need to go too wet. Just something for the overspray to sort of land in and not profile. This way it's all going to be on the same level, if that makes sense. Basically, yeah, just filling in your sanding stretches. That's basically all we're really doing. That regulator wasn't even working, but that's alright. So I'm not going to need much because it was only just a very light cut through. And there, same thing there. Just a little bit of colour there. And then I'm kind of just doubling up. I don't usually spray like this, but I know it's going to work. I'm going to get that heater on in this booth. It's a bit of a humid, like it's warm, but it's a bit of a humid day today.
Another detailer here, couldn't hack it. We've already gone through two since this shop has begun. That guy out there, too much. The quality that they're expecting is just probably a little bit extreme, I reckon. Yeah, the size of the nibs that they're picking, it's just ludicrous.